What's up, everybody? It's Joshua Thomas Gray here again for, is this the 5th episode of the podcast?
6.
Are you kidding? It's the 6th? I'm not counting. I don't care. I realize we should be better about things like saying you should subscribe, you should comment, you should like, you should share it with some of your friends. So there, I did it. I said it. Super pumped today. Oh my gosh.
No, we're great. We're doing good.
Oh man, this is going to be a good one. We're so giggly. What is happening, Chris?
I don't know.
Okay, today, my good friend Chris Jespersen is here with us.
Okay, we're good.
Have you seen the... This is going to be the whole podcast.
Okay.
Have you seen the Jimmy Fallon? And I don't remember who he's with.
Yes.
But they're literally just laughing the whole time. They can't even get...
serious. This is going to be about my life.
Get through it. That's going to be today, folks. So get ready. I don't know what else to say. I can't do it. I just need you to start talking.
About what?
This is Chris.
Hey.
Well, Chris just got in from, you live in Cleveland.
Live in Cleveland.
You used to live here, and that's how we know each other. We work together.
Yep.
And you do video.
Do some
But
video.
now you're doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
Broken into some new ventures, some new stuff.
Yep. Yep.
So before we get into all of that, as always, we're going to start way back.
Oh, man.
With the little wee Chris.
I was never
And
too
what-
small.
What childhood was like and all that good stuff.
So just jump into it.
Sure, let's do it. That was a really long intro.
Mark,
Just
this is what I do.
laughing.
Get into it. All right. Childhood? Like how
Sure,
early?
Yeah. Yeah, like where were you born? What was that like? Did you go to school?
I
Were you
went to
homeschooled? Did you live on a boat like Fred?
No. I was born in Bellevue, Washington.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
See?
I'm pretty sure.
Wow. Some context here. Chris and I are like good friends. We talk almost every day.
Yeah.
So that was actually really surprising that I just learned something
Bellevue,
new
Washington.
about you.
Grew up in Olympia, Washington. It was good. I need some
Siblings.
questions.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Okay, I have two siblings, and I'm the oldest. And what else? Yeah, grew up in Olympia.
What were like your hobbies as a kid?
A lot of bad things.
Like, what do you mean bad things?
Like how to make bombs.
Drug dealing and-
Like I made bombs. I would make lock picks. I'd make lots of different like things. And I make videos on how to make them and put them on YouTube.
That is fantastic. Wait, what bombs? Let's stop there.
Yeah, we don't want this podcast canceled.
No, tell me.
Oh, we want it. Okay.
Yeah, no, man. It's
how to
great.
make a bomb. So you
Obviously,
get
I just don't care about anything on this podcast.
I don't
Tell
know.
me.
I was really into making. Anything that's like kind of bad. I was really liked. So
Okay, so break that down. What do you mean you made bombs?
Like I
and
would
then
make-
did you light the bombs off?
yeah,
What?
yeah. I was really into making smoke bombs.
See, that's a lot different. Bomb to smoke bomb. The coolness factor just went down by literally a million
okay,
points.
yeah. Like we're not doing actual pipe bombs here,
Okay,
but I could have.
that's what I thought when you
Yeah,
said
no,
bombs.
not that. What else? So yeah, like smoke bombs. I was really into airsoft, so I
Is
love
this
making
something
smoke
you'd
bombs.
bring to school and like set it off in the bathroom?
No.
And like, no,
On the record, no.
for sure.
Yeah,
never.
I would not bring.
You
a
just
bomb
do
to
it in
school.
like the neighborhood.
Yeah, I lived in it like way out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay.
Like
So out
that.
in the
Light it
forest
off. Yeah.
or the a
I was really into
field?
airsoft. We like playing airsoft, so
Nice.
it was a labor
Paintball?
of love. Labor of love. I needed to make my own smoke bombs, so I didn't have to buy them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is all making. Man, you made it
The
sound
lock picks-
so much more like you're
Well-
this hardcore kid, like blowing up toilets at.
No, I would not. But I did make lock picks and would like teach. I'd sell lock picking kits.
And we got it.
Okay. I'd make lock picking kits. I don't know. I was just really into anything that was kind of like not good.
But you weren't actually doing not good things.
Right.
You were just into the things.
It felt
that weren't
powerful.
good.
It felt fun to like have a set of lock picks that I knew how to use, and I would only use them for good. I felt like a little Superman.
And is this like you're a teenager, a tween?
Yeah, like 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle school.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Into high school.
And into high school.
Yeah.
So what were you like at school? Teachers hated you, loved you? I don't
If
think
I
there's
didn't like
any
the
in
teacher, I'd
between.
be kind of annoying. So
You annoyed teachers.
pretty passive aggressive. So I could just, yeah. No, I think I was pretty well liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
When you're a
wasn't cool,
likable
wasn't not
person.
cool. Just right in the middle. Yeah.
Sports or
Um,
other activities at school?
I tried football for the first year. I played. Yeah, I looked like I should be a football player. I did not like football. I didn't like being mean.
But you didn't think about that at all during the time. You didn't think that was weird that you were knitting a hat? Oh my gosh, I feel bad. I'm not laughing at you. It's just
I mean, I kind of thought it was weird, but also everyone liked it.
yeah.
So I mean, I would make money from them and sell them. So I thought, whatever. I made
Okay.
Yeah.
What other things were you doing that were entrepreneurial? We're just jumping. This is literally what this whole podcast is gonna be like.
What else?
Wait, back to so you were selling these hats. What other things
Yeah.
were you doing that were kind of entrepreneurial?
Well, like
as
jumping
a
back
kid?
in all the way into elementary, I was selling trail mix as like a 8-year-old
to other kids at school.
Yeah,
Like you'd get the bulk, or your parents would pay for it, and then you just sell it.
Yeah, like
So you're
I
making
like made all these
100%
lists
profit?
on like how to like what do you like the most in trail mix. My parents made me like do questionnaires and like market research, and ends up people really like what's in the normal trail mix.
Oh no,
So I ended up
nobody
just
wants the
making that.
raisins.
And then I don't think I ended up doing that business because I didn't understand the numbers, and I cried. But I was 8, so
That's yeah.
and I've only done that then. What else? And then I made these JC pops with me and my friend Justin. We would like
JC Pops.
Justin Chris pops.
Oh.
We would like one day he was over. I think this was middle school, and we melted marshmallows, and then we took popsicle sticks and like wrapped it around each other, and then they got hard.
Yeah.
And like whoa, and then we dipped them in chocolate.
Whoa.
And we're like, these are really good. So then we started making them and bringing them to school and selling them.
For how much? Do you remember?
I forget. I just know we made like $40, and then we're like, we should probably stop because we can't actually like sell food that we made in our kitchen at school. And then that was middle school. High school was selling hats. High school, I also found like really cheap Monster Energy drinks, and I'd buy them at like the dollar store or something, and then sell. And I remember I needed a spot to store them, and so I rented a locker at school for like, I think it signed up for like $10 or something, and then I'd put all my monsters in there and sell them out of this locker.
Nice.
So that was fun. What else? I'd make hats.
When did you start making videos?
No, we're not there yet.
No.
I duct tape wallets, and then
Oh, there you go.
And
that was a
then-
big thing.
Yeah, I was
in our
really good at
childhood.
making them.
Duct tape wallets.
Yeah, duct tape wallet. These are kind of I'm jumping all over, not
Yep.
all in high school. And then what was the other thing I would do is yeah, I forget. So I don't know.
It's okay. We get it. You did a lot of random things.
You asked
You sold them.
videos.
I just didn't realize you did so many, like, and that you would bring them to school and like sell them.
Yeah, school's my marketplace.
Yeah, dude.
What
What were grades like in school?
not good.
Never? Or what subjects were you bad at and what were you good at?
I wasn't ever really good at school at all, like ever. I hated reading. I still hate reading. I never I don't know. I just didn't like it. What I liked
Yeah.
about school always, and I did go to college, and what I loved about college is the kind of like the network you could do.
The socializing
Yeah.
aspect.
So
of
me,
it.
there's like all these people at middle school, all these people at high school, going to college, and there's all these people at college, and they'd bring in bands, and there was
Right.
stuff happening at college, and there was opportunities that happened because we were at college. So
Right.
I didn't like the grades. I think I got out with like a 2.7, 2.5.
So what does that translate? Like, are you getting D's?
I don't know.
You
That's
don't
how
even
much
know
I don't.
your
It's just
grades.
not. I think it's like C
Okay.
or a little bit below.
You're like
or- I'm
like
like
a
I barely
middle
I just
of the
passed.
road.
I just passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did your parents care about grades and things like that? Do you remember getting in trouble? Like you got a report card and you're grounded because you got an F?
No. Well, I do. The only thing I do remember is I had a D and I brought it up to a B, and I told my parents, I was like, "Hey, I brought this up from a D to a B," and they got really mad at me.
Why?
I'd love to know, Mom. Because I brought it up from a D.
Interesting.
But I very much remember that. No, I was never good. I probably made my parents' life hell going through school because I wouldn't read and was just bad.
Would teachers be like contacting your parents like, hey, Chris just isn't applying himself. We could really
No, I
see
feel like I
him."
could make it through once I knew I had to.
Yeah. But that's kind of everything, right? Wouldn't you say? Like when you're like, I have to do this. then
Yeah.
You're like the best at it,
Well, no, I with school it'd be like, all right, I gotta
actually.
let me get this done real quick, and
Yeah.
I can do it. All right, like if I need to pass this class because I'm not gonna graduate high school,
Right.
I'll figure it out. Not
Did you-
A's, but
yeah.
yeah.
Did you do your homework?
Yeah. I would say I'm just pretty average.
Gotcha.
I like going to college, and I didn't want to stop going to college. I like going to college because of the networking and like all the fun stuff that was happening. So I was able to
Without
get through
sports
it.
and stuff, like, why did you even care to pass then? Kind of sports were the only reason that I was like, oh crap, I kind of need to
Wait, do you have to have a certain grade to be in sports? Oh.
Well, at least in football, I had to get passing grades at least. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to play games.
I don't know. I just thought you had to.
That's great.
Now I'm realizing
Just
the people
your
that didn't
ignorance.
pass, it's like they're fine.
It didn't matter.
No, I thought you had to. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What's your relationship like with your 2 siblings, right? 2 younger
Mhm.
brothers.
Pretty good.
Let's go back. Like, did you grow up in a cul-de-sac? Did you grow up in like 10 acres? And
I actually
you
did grow
just-
up with 10 acres on a cul-de-sac.
Boom. Wait, that's
Yeah.
contradiction.
No,
thing.
we lived at the end of a cul-de-sac with.
Gotcha. So
maybe not
everybody
10
else
acres,
lived on the other side,
Yeah.
and you guys had like 10 acres.
but- Yeah, maybe not 10. Actually, it just felt like
A
forever.
whole bunch of
Yeah, a lot of forest.
open.
Yep, that's where I grew up. Moved a couple times, I think, or twice.
Yeah.
So my dad is a construction worker and built our houses. So
Construction worker, he owns a construction company.
owns a construction company.
Right.
Yeah. And always had a cool house. He was always building it, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I then moved to another spot, and then I went to college, and
You had a pretty good childhood.
yep. And I'm good friends with both my brothers still, and we're all married. Yeah, it feels pretty. I think I was pretty quirky. I was pretty comfortable with myself. Like I was kind of like
Yeah.
doing all this random stuff.
Right.
I was really into magic.
Yeah.
Just a quirky guy.
The more you're learning and being like more self-aware of who you are,
Mm-hmm.
when you look back on your life, like in school and stuff, and doing things like magic to like
Still love magic.
to get people to
Me.
like you,
Yeah, yeah.
is it all kind of making even more sense of like,
This
I
is
totally
therapy.
get why I used to do some of those things. And was there anything that you look back on and you're like, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that because it wasn't really for me. I was seriously so indulged in trying to like make people like me that I did that.
Oh, I still do that.
Still? Like,
Yeah.
but now you're
A little
aware.
bit, yeah.
Back then though, were you aware?
No, I don't look back at anything that I'm like, I wish I wouldn't have done.
Right. Well, maybe not like to the, like, I regret that, but like looking
Yeah.
at it and you're like, that was dumb.
Huh.
But then you didn't even really think about it.
No, yeah, I don't think there's anything that I've regretted that's dumb. I was kind of an attention whore.
Right.
Still possibly am.
Maybe.
No, I don't know. I think it probably came from just like I wasn't like some sexy hot jock athlete,
Right.
and so I had to find other ways for people to like me. So I was like funny and do magic,
Right.
which maybe I thought was cool, but everyone listening is like that was not. Didn't
Yeah.
help it. Didn't help your case. But
Would you say you were like confident, or were there some things that you're pretty insecure about?
both? Yeah, I think I was probably pretty insecure for about being like a little chubby kid,
Right.
but pretty confident in.
That's
anything
kind of
else. I would like
interesting, like
rap in
being
front of the
both.
school, and
Right.
I don't know. It was weird.
Like you so wanted the attention that the insecurities didn't outweigh like the wanting to
I
have
still
the
don't know if they
stage
do.
and
I
want.
don't know if they do. I mean, I still have those insecurities, but it's just like
Right.
I'm good at things. So I'm good at magic. I can make a quarter disappear. So I don't know.
Dang. All this magic talk makes me want you to do some magic.
I don't know.
You need a quarter?
Yeah, I do.
Pick your weapon. This makes no sense if you're just listening to it. Oh.
Shoot. I did it wrong.
Oh my gosh. She just took. Oh. Okay, that was pretty good. That was Mark. Right? Or
Mark,
from
what'd you
that
think of that?
angle, was it pretty bad?
No, it was great. It was great at all angles because I
Wow.
was homeschooled. I forgot to tell you that, and so I did a lot of these
Whoa,
things when I was
back
homeschooled.
up. You were homeschooled, but
Yeah.
that was pretty impressive. He did it again. It disappears.
Yeah.
I mean, that one not as impressive.
Yeah, I was homeschooled for 1 year, and I cried myself to sleep when my mom told me because I hate it because I just wanted to hang out with friends at school. So I was homeschooled for a year. We'll go fast. And then I
Whoa.
ended up loving it, and that's where I did like a lot of my businesses because I had all the time. So I'd get up really early in the morning, do all my schoolwork, and then
Whoa.
have the whole day to like do all my little hobbies.
Literally the opposite. My
Yeah.
mom would drop me
My
off
brother
to
was the
school,
opposite.
and I would cry because I didn't want to go to school. So much so that finally she was like, fine, and pulled me out of school and homeschooled me.
Yeah.
Where I literally just watched Nickelodeon all day.
Wow.
For the whole school year. And then the next school year came and my parents were like, Josh, you're going back to school. And I was like, okay, fine. But
yeah,
then
I liked
after that, I didn't have that problem. I don't know why I used to like cry before getting dropped off, to the point where like we'd be in the car and my mom would be like, you need to go to school. And I'd just be like uncontrollably crying.
Yeah.
But then after that year, no problem. Everything went away. It was just normal. I think because I miss the social aspect too, because I'm like, that's the only part about school that I like too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I did miss that. And I was like, okay, I'd rather go to school than sit at home alone all day and not do anything.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
How many years were you homeschooled?
Just one.
Look at that.
And my mom was like,
New stuff.
we're all going back. I'm not homeschooling you guys.
That's
She's like, she wanted
exactly
to do it.
What.
And then was like,
Yeah. I think my parents like did it and then they were like, nope. I mean, like my mom owned a restaurant. My dad was working. It was like, when did they think they were going to have time to homeschool me?
Yeah.
And then they realized they didn't. So they sent me back to school.
Thank you, Mom.
Okay. Before moving on, because we should, I want to touch base a little bit more on this. Like you're a confident, but also insecure person, like in tandem, and what that, because one, I think that's not normal. And two, there are probably other people who are like that, who don't really know other people who are both of those things at the same time.
Aren't we all a little insecure?
Of course,
Okay.
yes. But, I mean, yes. But a lot of people who are insecure can't then get up on a stage and do a rap in front of everybody.
But I also think like, I'm not a comedian, but people who make people laugh or like funny people or like class con probably are insecure a lot. And that's the way that they figure out how to, I don't know. I don't really know. But.
Yeah. You don't have like any thoughts on?
Well, if we're going into like current day, yeah, but not back in high school. I don't really know.
Okay, then we'll just move on.
Yeah.
We'll just keep going. That's Chris's childhood in a nutshell.
And I was in college.
Well, we're going to move to that. That's like kind of entering young adulthood. How did you get into college?
How the hell did you get into college?
If you were such a bad... I mean, not
no,
such
that's what
a
I'm
bad,
saying. Is like
you
I
were
was
just
okay.
average. You were
I was
fine.
fine.
Yes,
and probably high school better than college.
Okay.
Yeah, because I knew I had to get into college. So you're like making sure your grades are good.
So you knew you wanted to go to college.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, I didn't. Yeah, it was just what you did.
Is that what your parents pushed? They were like, "You're going to go to college."
Yeah.
Did your parents go to college?
Mm-hmm.
Both of them.
Yep.
Like 4-year degrees, both of them, or more?
Both went to college. Yeah.
Crazy.
4 years. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. The numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, they both went to UW.
Were they first generation college grads?
No, I don't think so. No.
Well, so you're like from a whole line of
Privileged
people.
Smart people. Yeah.
That's crazy.
My dad had a pretty hard time in college, though. I do know that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But his like parents went to college.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did any of your family go to like any of the prestigious
No.
Harvard or Oxford, anything like that? No. It was just like just a regular college.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I know my dad had a hard time through college. He studied meteorology.
Nice.
And like could barely get through it, and like.
And then he started construction.
Made it happen and like got through it, which was pretty impressive. And then got out, worked for the state. And then I remember, I forget how old I was, pretty young. He started his own company. And then
He didn't start that until after you were born.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when he
doing
did.
construction before?
Yeah, he was like working on boats and helping people, and then
Was he just always crafty?
Yeah,
handy?
Yeah.
Like building things?
I kind of forget the story. I just think he probably ended up having a lot of clients, and then he was like, I think I could do this. And then did it.
Nice.
I remember.
Okay, let's just jump back. You apply to college, get into college. What was the whole moving out of the house for the first time?
Oh yeah. Oh, and then I did this video to get that was really cool. I went to Western, and they had a video like you can win $2,000 to or you can get $2,000 scholarship
Gotcha.
if you make a why you want to go to Western video. It was for like incoming people, the whole freshman class. And I made a song that I filmed through my high school and like ended up winning.
Nice.
And I don't know for sure I won that, but I think that helped me get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they probably like the personality and everything. They're like, cool, let's get this kid in.
Yeah.
Give him a scholarship.
So that was really fun.
Yeah. Had you been doing any video stuff?
Yeah.
Previous to this?
Yeah. I did video at like church youth group. I remember I like looked through a camera and like what my youth pastor was like, oh, you can like film stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I asked him if I could make a video of something. And he's like, if you film 30 seconds of this, and then you can film 30 seconds here.
Yeah.
And I remember looking through the camera and was like, this is what I want to do. And it's changed since then.
Yeah.
On like what I'm filming or the subject, but I've always liked filming. So that's kind of that. I think that was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's exactly the same.
But like all growing up, I still remember like always wanting to, on family vacations, always taking the photos and always begging for the camera from my parents and being like, can I take?
Which was what, a film SLR?
No, just like a film
like a
point and shoot.
Okay.
And then in high school, I took photography, and then I'm not good at like answering these.
It's great. I love it. This is gonna be my favorite one.
So yeah, and then so I got into college, and I had like decent grades. I think like I was fine. I think I was pretty well rounded in doing a bunch of things. But that video was pretty fun. That was cool.
Yeah. But then you started doing videos for the college at some point.
I went in, and so I got in, and then.
Were you pumped to like move out of the house? Like, did you live in the dorms?
I lived in the dorms. Yeah, I lived in the dorms, and then.
Did you go crazy? Did you just like?
No, I liked
become the prodigal son and just like.
No, I was pretty good. I didn't do anything crazy. I just like being surrounded by a bunch of people, and
yeah.
And again, there's just like always cool stuff happening. There's concerts, and like artists would be coming in, and so then I was kind of getting into video, and then I like pitched the university on like if I could do vlogs for them, and like talking about new things happening at the university, and so they were like, absolutely. That was pretty cool. So I started doing these like, I think they're called like What's Up Western. That was really fun. And then I started, what else? Like I did a couple like interviews with like artists that would come in, like the Blue Scholars, and I think another person. I don't know. It's just because it's a college town, then even not with even the college, it just makes it a hub. So then there's concerts going on.
Right.
Really musicians were like a big part of things that I really liked in school, because you could either like film for them,
right,
or do, that's it. You could film with them or film for them or whatever. So then I created like these little like Larrabee sessions, and that's not even necessarily people that were coming to Western, but just people that would come to Bellingham.
Right.
So it just gave a lot of, I don't know,
time to making videos.
Yeah, and like with people that had followings and
right.
So
what were you thinking when you're doing that? Like, this is what I'm going to do for a living, or I just have fun doing this. This is a little side thing that's never going to be anything.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to do video something. I had just no idea.
Yeah.
So I know we're different on this, but this is why I think people should go to college, which we can totally disagree on.
Yeah.
Because I think that and yet I do think that college is good, because I did have to take classes that I would never have taken.
Right.
If I would not have gone, which then pushes you to do things. I think what college taught me, and probably teaches a lot of people, is just to do hard things. Yeah. And like you have to finish the class,
right.
And so it's just learning.
It's just very expensive to just have to do hard
totally agree,
things.
and I was like, I agree.
But I agree with what you're saying.
If you come from a space where you can go, or you have money to go, then
go.
I think it's cool. Yeah.
Of course.
And then I think the last two I had to pay for myself for the last year, and so I would just work on, and I paid for it. I had to pay for it. I paid for it the last year, which is a lot better than a lot of other people had to. So I'm very lucky to have parents that.
What were you doing to make money?
I'd work for a back home. Or when I'd go back home to Olympia.
Summers, you'd work.
And then like breaks. Money. I remember like one break I made like $3,000, like working for some apartment complex cleaning, and that paid for the whole rest of the.
So it was like odd jobs. It wasn't like video stuff or anything.
And videos, I do videos, and then I ended up getting hired by the university to do other videos. My last year. So I didn't know. I just knew I liked to do video for something. And I also really at that point started realizing that I was good at working with people, and I liked working with people, and I was able to get connected with people, and started kind of then realizing like maybe I'm good at this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not. Yeah. Okay, this is kind of, wait, can I say something that's weird? This is weird.
Please.
And so like I remember in this, I'd always get like cool opportunities, like in, let's say like middle school. And then when I went to high school, I was really scared because I was like, what if there's other people that are, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe attention too. I like being the center of attention. So I was scared to go to high school because I was like, what if there's like funnier people? Or,
right.
But I went there, and then I'm not saying I was that funny, but I was like, okay, I'm pretty confident in this circle. Like cool opportunities are happening, whatever they were. And then I was really scared to go to Western because I was like, now we're talking a huge amount of people that are coming in.
Right.
And I'm not going to be anything special because this is everyone. And I'm not saying I'm special, but these were just like kind of like my worries as a high school kid. But then that like Western thing was pretty cool and probably blew my ego up way too much.
Like being the channel.
No, winning that.
Oh yeah,
video.
pre even going, like getting validated right off the start.
Which I'd say I'd never become too cocky.
Yeah.
But it was like, so that just helped me with my confidence. And I'd go in, and it was like, oh, you're the guy who did that Western thing. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And then, so I think I just was like, okay, I'm like decent at this video thing. And then through college, I was just good. I think now looking at like connecting relationships. So,
yeah.
And then even scared outside of college to go and we'll jump there. But I was like, all right, college, I can do that. I can I know all the people.
Right.
And then I was like, but real life, I'm going to just like, I'm really going to suck.
Yeah.
And then it still kind of is working, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
See, all the insecurities are still there.
But you're more self-aware, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
Which is making it better.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Wait, what's the question?
Yep. You got it.
Yeah.
Just nod. Yep. So is there can we just kind of blow past college? Because college just...
Sure. Yeah, sorry. But a lot happened there. I mean, that wasn't that long ago.
Is there,
so, yeah.
What?
No, that's it.
Anything important that went down? And, well, I guess, what did you go to college
Oh, yeah, I went to school for...
Photojournalism.
And then also like in there, like my senior year, my professor asked to see me after class, and I was like writing sentences backwards, and he's like, I think you have a problem. Actually, you know what? He was really cool.
Yeah.
He's like, I think you might have dyslexia or something.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. He did not take me aside and fail me. He's just like, hey man,
right.
Like, I want you to see this. Like, look how you're writing. You're writing words backwards. You're writing sentences twice in a row. And so then I ended up going seeing a psychiatrist. Is that the right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, psychiatrist. And this is all my senior year. And
this all didn't happen until your senior year.
Yeah.
Okay. So then keep going.
And so I took him seriously because I did look at that paper and was like, that is pretty weird that I'm writing this.
I can't believe no teacher had ever said anything until that point.
Yeah, looking back, I don't know. So wait, okay. So then I went to see a psychiatrist and did all these tests, and then she's like, I don't know if you have dyslexia. And then at the end, she started like going through, do you ever like lose things? And I was like, every day. And then, do you ever interrupt people? I'm like, yep. And it just like all through the list and said yes to everything. She's like, I think you have ADHD. And I was like, what is that? And so then I found out what that is. And then she said those correlate quite a bit. Like dyslexia and ADHD can kind of overlap. And so I wouldn't say I'm like 100% dyslexic. I probably have dyslexic tendencies or.
Right.
I don't think I have very good comprehension
you weren't
skills.
Diagnosed with dyslexia, but you were diagnosed with ADHD.
Yeah. So that kind of all happened at the end, which is pretty interesting because that answered for a lot of.
Yes.
I hated reading. I don't think I'm very bad at comprehension.
Right.
It just made a lot of sense. Maybe why I hated school.
Yeah.
Because it was very difficult for me.
Yep.
Looking back. So, and I don't think it was super severe, but the ADHD, I'm thinking the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
Which would make sense.
Yeah.
Just not.
So that was interesting. So yeah, that was college. Oh, and then graduated, and then like I got an internship. For the for Logos, and then I thought that was pretty cool because I worked at the coffee shop before, below this company that you worked at. Yeah. And I wanted to work there, and then I ended up.
That's right. Wait. So let's back up. When did we actually meet?
I don't know.
We must have met at the coffee shop when you worked there.
Because you and Evan would come down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you guys do? And you're like, video. And I was like, I want to do video. And you're like, well, cool. Here's your coffee. And then I give you your coffee. And then over time, I'd meet everyone that would work at at Logos. And then you guys are like, you should just like apply. I think we ended up
Yeah.
I like sent you some work, or you probably were like, yeah, you're okay. And then internships. And so then I applied for an internship when I was still in college working at a coffee shop. And then I got the internship and then went back to my professor, or the head of my department, the journalism department, was like, hey, I can't finish this program because there's I had to do internships for journalism.
Right.
And I was like, but I got this internship here doing video and I want to do that. And she's like, you have a job set up? And I was like, yeah. She's like, do you care about journalism? And I was like, no. Or no, do you care about what's on the degree?
Right.
And I was like, no. She's like, all right, quit this, say general studies, and take the internship and just do a couple classes and get out of here.
Yeah.
She's like, that's way better than what about a lot of other people have. So I was like, sweet.
Like turning down an actual
Dropped
job.
journalism that day.
Dang, I didn't know that
Yeah,
either.
took the internship. And then
Who was on the team? It was Evan, myself,
yeah, the first day
Ruben?
was like you and Evan, Ruben, Caleb.
Caleb was before you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Caleb had just started, I remember.
Yeah, pretty recently then.
And then Josh Burdick.
Burdick was still on our team. He
I think
hadn't
so.
started mobile ed yet.
Fred.
That was back in the day, man.
In the basement. Yep. So yeah, so then I just took a couple random classes to finish up my credits that I needed to graduate, and then graduated with a general studies degree at the end. But like journalism all the way through.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool that lady said that though.
Yeah.
The head of my department was like,
that was legit.
do you care? And I was like, no. She's like, then go. Get out of here. Do it. So.
And you're not in journalism, but everything that you do.
I'm super glad I ended up taking that. And again, that's why I say I liked college, because I would not have learned so many great things that I was forced to learn through there. So,
and specifically we're jumping ahead, but you do like high-end luxury wedding videos. I would be pretty convinced that the time in college spent learning about photojournalism is actually what sets you way apart from other video people, specifically in video, because so many people just show up and like shoot a bunch of video and put it together when they're not at all thinking like a journalist.
Well, and I think specifically I learned how to, because photojournalism is really interesting. One, they taught you, I'll stop there. Okay. So photojournalism is really interesting because they teach you how to shoot. You shoot a lot of black and white.
Right.
You do not edit your images really at all, because we get into like journalism ethics, and because you're trying to show what's happening, so you can't really edit. And so you're learning how to shoot really well. You're even cropping an image in certain ways is unethical in journalism. Yeah. So you're learning how to shoot good images, good images in camera, and you're shooting a ton. So I was shooting a ton through my senior year. Yeah. And so we got, I wouldn't say good, but like, you're starting to get better, right? Because you're just shooting so much. And then you're also, what's different with photojournalism is you have to have a rapport with people, because you're not only the photographer, you're also writing the story. So I learned a lot of how to interact with people and how to shoot and not look like you're shooting, not trying to be sneaky, but trying to keep the rapport with the person. So how to talk to someone.
Literally all of that translates to wedding.
Yeah. So it was great. It was very interesting. I had some of my favorite professors, in college, who were my journalism professors. Yeah. Super talented storytellers. So. Right. That does it. I'm really glad I took it, but I'm just glad how it all went. I wouldn't have changed anything. So I didn't need the journalism degree, but I'm also really glad that I went through it. Yeah. And I'm glad that I didn't just do like video production.
Oh, totally. Who cares? You can learn how to do video. Yeah. I feel like the diligent work of a photojournalist is significantly more important than.
Yeah, and then also kind of made me fall in love with real stories, because that's kind of in part of, I never wanted to be a Hollywood director or like shoot commercials. I mean, I did, and I was a Hollywood director. No, but I've done commercials and I've done movies and stuff, or worked on movies, but they never really interested in me like real stories did, and that's what journalism is. So then, then even like jumping ahead doing weddings, that was like part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. You got an internship. Mm-hmm. So now you're doing another big jump. Yeah. What was going through your head? What did you think about me? Did you think I was cool?
Yeah, I think you guys are so cool. You guys are getting paid professionally to do video.
What did you think when you found out that I dropped out of high school? When did you find that out?
Oh, now it's about you, huh?
Yeah, we're going to switch this. Let's talk about me now.
I don't know. I don't feel like I learned that for a little while. I didn't care. I didn't really care.
You didn't think anything of it?
No. Because you guys were getting paid for something that was awesome. So I was like, whatever. This is great.
Nice.
Yeah, the internship? I don't know. Yeah, it was great. so much of my success came down to even getting that internship, and then even through that, it was like I got that internship. I think it was a 90-day internship, and I graduated at that point before the 90 days. And my boss, I don't even know if he remembered, but he was like, I was like, all right, can I get the job? And he's like, yeah, I don't think so, or something. And it was like, yeah, I don't know. And I had another big job offer. Not a big, but like big for right out of college.
Yeah.
It was like be the video director of some team or something.
Oh, right. I do remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was like with benefits and everything.
Yeah.
And I basically turned that down and said, I'm going to prove to you that I should be hired.
Yeah.
Which I'm impressed that I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was good.
So what was that experience like, going into the real world, doing real work on real projects that go out to audiences? What were you even doing in the beginning? What did they?
I don't know. It was just whatever. Just random stuff. I'd be second shooting or.
Yeah.
No, it was great because I went to journalism or went to school for journalism. And I don't know. I think like in college, you're kind of like insulated by being in college. And so you're like, this is the ideal way that things would work.
Yes.
And like, this is how but then to actually just go do it it really was an extension of college. And I feel super lucky to have been paid for that. But got to basically go do real work and get paid for it, and then see how that all really happens. Like sometimes it's never the ideal thing.
You're right.
Or you're like, well, this artistically is beautiful. Like, well, the customer doesn't care.
You're
in
like,
college, you'd be like, great, A+ on your project. But here you're like, well,
here's the 5-point reasons of why this matters.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the boss is like, shut up. We're just going to do it this way. And it's due 10 minutes ago.
So that was, I would just say, an extension of college, or kind of like continued my learning. And so I feel really lucky to have that, because I went for 3 years there. So I just learned a ton. I think it took my filmmaking from kind of a novice to, I'm always learning, but up through like learning from DSLRs, getting into actual cinema cameras, learning how to use the black magics, the reds, lighting, and like really taking the skill to maybe a professional. Yeah.
Sweet.
So that was really an extension of my learning that I'm glad I jumped into like right after. Yeah. Also, I got married. Shout out to my wife, Brooke.
Whoop, whoop.
Love you.
I shot your wedding.
Oh yeah, I cried a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't really know you that well then.
No, not really.
I was sobbing. I got married. So that was a big transition out of college too, because I took the job at Logos, got married, and then also was still doing college, like finishing up.
Yeah, that was all at that
all the
one
same time.
moment.
Yeah, that was all like the first year. So.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can fast forward.
Okay.
To, unless there's anything else that you'd
probably, I'll jump back like in an hour to be like,
great.
oh yeah, that one time in okay.
So yeah, we could just like get into
what
you're doing now, which now this takes a huge turn.
Dark turn.
Not dark. It's just like, probably would be people who don't know you and they're just listening to the story. They probably wouldn't expect that your life is going to go in this direction. And it's cool. Yeah. But maybe, which means talk a little bit about your wife, because that's why you end up moving.
Oh yeah. Okay. So my wife is amazing. Her name is Brooke. Shout out to her. We met. So she went to Western. So then we graduated. She worked at the same company I did for a little bit. And then she wants to be a doctor. Not a medical doctor, but like a PhD doctor.
Yes.
So she applied for different PhD programs around the country. And so this is 3 years ago now. And ended up getting a full ride to Case Western in Cleveland. I was like, I hated school.
Ohio.
I hated school. So I was pretty impressed that I didn't know you could get paid to go. So long story short, we ended up moving to Cleveland for that. And then...
Okay, at that point, you're working at Faith Life. You find out, okay, we're going to just move to Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, probably
you guys are like Pacific Northwestern.
Yeah, a month and a half
born and
notice,
raised.
I think. Yeah.
And then you're like, well, crap, I don't have a job or anything.
Yeah, because I had to wait to figure out where we're going.
Yeah.
And you figure out pretty quickly and then you have to like move.
Right.
So, yeah, we ended up going to visit Cleveland. I got, at that same time, I was like applying for jobs. I had a wedding company say like, hey, we'd love for you to come be our cinematographer.
Yep.
And so I was like, this is great. Went out and met with them. Met with them.
Methed up.
And really liked him, got a job offer, and probably was a little too big for my britches. Is that the saying? I don't know. I maybe
Sure.
thought I was a little great
Yeah.
coming from, because we were like working at this cool company, and so
Right.
it's like I thought it was pretty amazing. Probably, I did, and so ended up like I didn't take the offer.
Yeah.
So I was all kind of mad, and I was like, I thought, whatever. We're great friends now, so.
So what was the plan then?
I didn't know. So that was on a Monday. We came back, got the job offer, turned it down on a Monday, I believe. I was kind of frustrated by Tuesday. I had a bunch of, like, I think my wife's parents and my wife and kind of like, we're like, what if we started our own, you should like, maybe Chris could do his own thing. Like, and I was like, oh, okay. By Wednesday, I had gone to the bank to see if I could get a loan, because if I wanted to do a video, I kind of needed gear.
Yeah.
Went to the bank to get a loan. Thursday,
Was the bank a yes?
I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
They might have. It was some terrible like interest rate. And
so you didn't do that?
No, I didn't. Thursday, I ended up meeting with my friend Dan, and he's like, maybe we should like work together. And then by Friday, we'd kind of decided to work together and start a video production company.
Wedding video production company, or just like a video production
company.
Okay.
Yeah, he wanted it to be weddings.
And then when did you leave?
I don't know. Probably a month or so after that.
Okay.
Month or two. Yeah. So then we ended
How
up,
did this turn into a wedding video production company?
Yeah. So I never wanted to do weddings. I just wanted to do, even though like I just said I didn't want to do commercials.
Right.
Again, this is kind of like I wanted to be. I had the talent. I feel like I had the ability to do commercials and stuff.
Yes.
So I wanted to make a production company because that was cool.
Yeah, that's what cool kids do.
That's what cool kids do.
And they don't shoot weddings.
Yeah, don't shoot weddings. But I had a couple friends, my friends Matt and Bree, who are gosh dang beautiful. They asked me to shoot their wedding, and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to shoot any wedding,
yeah,
I'm going to shoot theirs, because you guys are good looking. So I had to shoot their wedding, and it was a beautiful wedding, and I loved it. I loved shooting it, and yeah, they were just such a fun couple, and all their guests were like, they were having a blast. They were dancing and just having.
Yeah.
It provided for a very good video on my part, as in like it was fun to capture.
Yeah, exactly.
So I ended up really liking that. That led to like a couple more videos, and then I moved to Cleveland. So that was kind of all like towards the end of my time leaving. Moved to Cleveland, kept getting inquiries for weddings, and at the time I just moved to this new city, so I was like, yeah, I'll take these.
Yep.
These are fine. Started taking them, would fly back to Seattle every month, I felt like, to do weddings. And then, I think like through that period of that first year, I kept doing that and was doing little jobs in Cleveland. But I think I was like, I really like this.
Yeah.
Because remember, I went to journalism,
right?
Real stories.
Yep.
And then it ended up being like this kind of cool like combination of like it's a real thing.
Yeah.
But also we know why we're there. It's a wedding. So there's also this structure, like an unsaid structure of kind of like, we know they're going to get ready.
Yeah.
And a lot of people hate that. I actually ended up liking it because there's a structure that I knew I could play in with creativity.
Right.
So mentally I have these benchmarks of knowing, hey, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Between that, I can really kind of have fun with it.
Yeah. Dude, I'm realizing I did a horrible job of introducing you. Like I didn't at all. So nobody,
that's fine. We don't have to.
Still no one knows what you do. At what point, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah,
We're
fine.
still going to keep it that way. You just have to listen to everything, people. When did you get obsessed with, I'm going to do the most high-end weddings? When did that happen?
I think in that first year. So it felt like a coming out of being like, I like weddings, because again, it like wasn't cool to do weddings. And
right.
I think I'm talented enough to be doing commercial
So
projects.
then you were like, it's not cool to do weddings, but if I'm traveling around the world and doing $1 million weddings, then it's
I wouldn't
cool.
even say that yet. No, it was just like, this isn't cool to do weddings, but I actually secretly really like them, and I kept doing them.
Gotcha.
And then that was kind of like, shoot, how do I brand myself? Like, am I doing commercial work, but also doing weddings?
Right.
And then I just was like, and then in that, I was kind of like, I started getting, I had some really cool opportunities where I went to Maui and got to film for the Four Seasons resorts. And this is all just kind of, I'm super new and just
Yep.
I wouldn't say in the wedding industry. I just happen to be filming weddings, but
Right.
slowly kind of like getting to be a part of like, I would say more of like industry people and
Right. That kind of introduced you to this luxury wedding world of high-end stuff.
yeah, like barely. Yeah,
You
I was like
kind of stumbled into it instead
Yeah.
of seeing it.
Well, and really the first thing is I lived in Cleveland. Then I was kind of like, I like these weddings. So then I said, why am I doing weddings in Cleveland? I should do destination because
Yeah.
I was from Seattle or Bellingham
Yeah.
and I just wanted to go to Maui. So I was like, I should do destination weddings, aka I'm doing my own business now. I forgot.
Yeah.
I should do a wedding in Maui. I just wanted to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Ended up meeting someone off Instagram, and she was like, "Are you going to this big event in New York?"
And what is she?
A wedding planner.
Yep.
Lori, still one of my like closest friends. She helped me come up and supported me so much. Okay, and then so she said, "Love your work. Are you coming out to the Knot Gala in New York?" I was like, "What's that?"
That was 2 years ago, two and a half years ago.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was like, I don't know what that is. And she's like, well, like everyone goes there. And so I was like, okay, how can I go? And so she introduced
You're
me to
just so
someone at the
nonchalant.
Knot.
I can't get past this, like
What?
nonchalantly just being like, "What's the Knot?" You know how many
Yeah,
people
I didn't really
in
know.
the industry would be so frustrated?
Well, I knew
with
what the
this,
Knot was. I just
Yeah,
didn't
I
know
know,
the
but,
Knot
like,
Gala.
to then 2.5 years later be
Yeah.
doing what you're doing. That's just like,
So then I emailed the people at the Knot, I think like 30 times. And I
Yeah.
said, can I please go to this thing? And then finally they let me in. And so then I put on, they're like, it's black tie. I had no idea what that was. So I rented a suit from like Men's Warehouse. I ended up going to this thing in New York, drove there like 9 hours. Looked like I was a freaking prom with like a vest and a suit that didn't fit me. It was great. Ended up meeting Lori there. And she's like, you're like 10 years old. She thought I was way older. But I was like 23 at the time
yeah,
or something. Yeah. And then she's like, you want to come out and shoot for me for like this big shoot we're doing for the Four Seasons? And I was like, yeah, like the Sheridan Four Seasons, or like, she's like, no, like the Four Seasons resorts. Like,
yeah,
I was like, I don't know what that is. Flew out to Lanai and filmed this big thing for, that was really my
Do you
first.
think your ignorance helps you?
Mhm.
You play into that. You know that.
Yeah, I didn't know it then.
Right.
Like, I guess I really didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're just that ignorant in it. You didn't even know, but you're just a likable person. So the ignorance almost just
know.
makes you.
Yeah, I mean,
People
that one I was
more-
like, all right, this is cool. I'm like obviously getting out to Lanai at the Four Seasons.
Right.
And you're like, oh, this is, whoa.
Yeah.
We had models and like makeup artists, and I was there shooting it. I was like, oh,
Right.
okay. So I was like, I'm going to kill this. I'm going to just do an incredible, I'm going to really try to shoot
Yep.
this to be amazing. And then that was big. The
That was like the first big
Yeah.
luxury thing
Yeah.
that you did.
Yeah.
Okay, so this shoot that you got the opportunity to do is like your first introduction to this high-end luxury, kind of crazy. Like it's a whole crew. It's actually probably a lot more like
Yeah.
back in the day when we had like 7 people on set,
Yeah.
which most people never experience something like that in weddings.
Yeah.
It's like run and gun and cheap and
Yeah. So I got to go like, I didn't know there was resorts like that. I didn't know we were shooting for this wedding dress company for Haley Page, and she's like this big designer. I had no clue who she was. I was like, is that your sister? She's like, no, it's Haley Page. And I was like, that's cool. I didn't know who that is. But I could tell that it was a big deal. And I was in
Right.
Maui, and I wanted the footage. And so we shot. And I got to work with this photographer, Mike Adrian, who was like my first experience into like this customer service, that he was so good with working with
Right.
people. And I like customer service.
right.
Like
I
I
mean,
like
that's the
working at the
people.
coffee shop. It's the people. I love that. And so I saw, whoa, this is so cool. I can film. I can do this customer service. I really like that. And so
Right.
he was really good at working with people and good at shooting. And it was kind of this journalism. It brought back that journalism of like,
Yeah.
you're shooting and being secretive, but this is like you're shooting and being really good with people and like posing them and like getting the shot and like
Yep.
being kind of like not suave, but just like
But dude,
fun
and
and nice.
it's business too.
Yeah.
Like you're doing all that on top of like you're also relationships with people because that's potential earnings.
Yeah. So that was like my first thing, and I was just like, this is so cool. Like I love, and I thought it was really neat how you could work at such a high caliber. Like
Yeah.
I'm not from that world where I'd ever get to go to, I couldn't afford to go to a resort like that. And so to be able to maybe go there for work. And that was my first introduction into like, I say like a lot, but I don't know. It was just, I was really interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The like police have already dinged
And
me.
they're gone.
Like this one time, we hit the like button and like, it was pretty cool. I liked it. I think I'll just say like more when people point out how much I say like. Okay, I derailed that. Let's bring it back in.
Yeah.
So you finished this shoot. Was it just like full ADD, hyper focused? I'm going to do this. I'm going to just start.
I was
Also,
so overwhelmed also just being in Maui
yeah,
at this resort, which has won like the top resort in the United States several years
yeah,
in a row. It's really nice.
yeah,
I was just really blown away that I
Right.
could maybe go to places like this with my camera
and get paid.
and get paid. And so, yeah, I came back from that, edited this video. And this was also, I didn't realize, for like the reopening of the Four Seasons resorts.
Oh.
They ended up like using it all over, and other
Nice.
Four Seasons resorts from all over the country reached out to me because they saw this video that played at their like media conference in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, this is how you should use video, and showed my video up there.
Yeah.
So it was a real cool introduction, and I got to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so before people are just like, oh, wow, good for him, so lucky. You did already mention a little bit of how just to go to the Not Gala, you wrote him like 30 times,
Mhm.
which is not an exaggeration, right?
No, I really did. Yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
about that part of getting to these things, like
Yeah,
finding somebody in Maui. Like, how do you actually do that? I know this is
Yeah, I
something
don't
that
know.
people ask you a lot,
Yeah.
and it's really not complicated.
No, I just am not really afraid of no's because that's the worst thing that could happen. So the worst
That's
thing that
the
could happen
answer.
is the lady from the Knot or the man from the Knot or whoever could just say no.
And if they don't reply to you,
Then I just email them again.
mm,
Yeah.
see, most people take a non-reply as a no.
Well, you know, here's the thing: is when I started to have my own business, I also realized how busy I was, and I'm not that big of a
Yes.
business person. This is just me doing a little video production,
Right.
and I wouldn't get back to people.
Yep.
And that did not mean I didn't want to work with them or I didn't have an
Right.
answer for them. It just meant I was busy. So
Exactly.
that helped me get some perspective on other people are way busier than me.
Right.
So I'm just gonna keep writing them.
Until
And
they
a
tell
lot
you
of
to
times
stop.
it's just, I even have like a couple different phone numbers, so I'll like call from different phone numbers because if I can get them on the phone,
Yeah.
they'll
Game
say
over.
yes. So,
Right.
um,
Talk more about that. You're kind of skimming through. This is like the most important part of your career. What did
yeah.
you say?
Yeah, I'm even trying to think.
Things like that.
So I
You
remember
have a
going to the
few
Knot.
different-
So even when I went to the Knot Gala, I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was this big event for all the top like event professionals. So I brought like business cards and like USB on them with like all my like wedding stuff on it that I had shot, and I was like handing it out to people. This was like a big party, and I was like handing out business cards to people, and they're like, okay, like
Yeah.
I literally saw people throw them on the ground, and now I giggle at that because that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm even trying to remember. So I went to the Knot Gala, and that I think that combined with that shoot was kind of like there's this whole other
Right.
there's weddings, and I also come from the Northwest. Not to diss it or anything, but like the events and the weddings and the culture out here is very kind of hipster and like I don't know,
Yeah.
flannels and
Right. Not high end.
they can still be high end. I don't want to, but like it's just not the
Well, okay, they can be expensive, but they're still not like ballroom
sure.
European.
And
like,
it also is just like culturally probably not. Like,
here
I got
that
married-
people here would be like, that looks like stuffed up.
Yeah, I remember
Richie.
living out here and being like, oh my gosh, they're making us wear tuxedos to the wedding. And you're like,
Right.
who does that? That's like from a long time ago. Okay.
Right.
It's not like a lot of people
Right.
still. So I think also that it was this combination of moving out to Cleveland, leaving the Northwest. Then I saw this whole other world of weddings because I was coming from the Northwest, which again, it doesn't matter what kind, but I was kind of infatuated with like, I can like go, and I think it's always trying to prove people wrong too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want to prove people that I can do this.
Who are
thing.
you trying to prove wrong on
I
this
don't
one?
know.
What was the thing that you were told, like that you wouldn't be able to succeed doing it? So you should probably work for someone else?
No,
Was that the idea?
I think it all goes all back to like high school and middle school, just being like the funny kid, the funny chubby kid.
Yeah.
That's just, I'm funny, which is fine.
Right.
But
So
I didn't like even working at like Logos. I wasn't able to like I wasn't allowed to film all the time.
Yeah, that was
I had a
annoying
couple
as heck.
shoots where I like screwed up, so I wasn't really allowed to film. So then coming out of that, I just and I'm goofy and funny, and so it's always like, oh yeah, Chris, you're gonna do something.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to be like, see, screw you guys. I am the best. I don't want to be the yeah.
No, that makes sense.
And I think even getting into this, which is a big, like kind of an interesting thing that I think I'm able to capitalize on, which is the combination of like business and art is pretty difficult. And I think a lot of artists struggle with it.
Yep.
As do I, because as an artist, that's why a lot of times like off camera, I can talk about this stuff a lot easier because you know me, but on camera, I'm very hyper aware of it. Anyone that might watch this.
Right.
And so it's, you don't, as an artist, you don't want to sound confident in your work because you always could learn more. There's always someone better than you.
Right.
And I 1,000% agree that there is so many better filmmakers than me. And yet as a business owner, you have to say that I'm the best and I am the answer to your problem. And and I think that's hard for a lot of people who are artists, rightfully so.
It feels like selling out to a lot of artists too, to say that.
And so even on here, I can feel myself saying like I'm the I don't want to say I'm the best, but like when I'm talking to a client, I am the best.
Yeah. And what's great in business is
I'm the best.
It's validated by the people who give you the money.
Yeah.
That's what's so cool about
Yeah.
I mean, which then again for people who are just very into the art of it, that is not satisfying to them. So that makes it probably even more confusing. But for me, I'm like, well, you are the best. You know why? Because we have the money coming in from the people on the top of the industry validating and telling you that you're the best.
Well, not everyone. See, I can't. I'm not going to. There's so many great people.
Of course, there's other people in that arena.
So many amazing people.
But like, is there many steps above where you're at?
I'm sure there are. I can't.
I'm
not
sure there are some. But
I'm sure there's tons. Yes, there's
let
so
me
many.
boast for you.
I'm not.
Like, you're in that arena. And so...
Yeah.
Yes, of course, you're not the only one. You're not like maybe nationally you just freaking started, Chris.
I know.
The fact that you're already there is...
Yeah. See, it's even hard. It's just difficult. Yes, it's hard because
Is this your artist side coming in here?
Yeah, I feel it's like a little bipolar.
Yes.
Like, I think I'm really good, but then that also sounds super cocky to say because it's art.
Yeah.
So there's so much to learn, and I'm inspired by so many different people, and there are better people. So, and it's such a turnoff for any artist to be like, man, I'm really good.
Yeah.
But yet in the niche that I am in, and I think I'm good at it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's interesting because art is so subjective and business is not. It's either you're winning or you're not, and the numbers tell you. And so it's like your business is winning. Yeah. You're getting hired by these people, getting paid this much, and then they come back and have you do it again and again. Yeah. And so that's it. Like,
but I know, and this kind of goes into my whole, like a lot of what I can ramble on is that I'm sure other people look at my work and are like, dude, it sucks, which is how I was when I first started.
Right.
To everyone. I would like foam at the mouth anytime I saw any event filmed by another videographer than me, because I'm like,
because of course
any artist inside is like, I'm the best.
Yeah,
like any artist,
and it's always like, oh, I could do that better.
Yeah, I could do that better. Do you see a shot? He's shooting it like, and I would just get so pissed. Do you want me to talk about this?
Let's do it.
Okay, fast forward. I learned, so that's kind of my whole thing now that I've learned about, which is I ended up, well, a little bit more as I ended up going to got into kind of saw these luxury weddings.
Yep.
And then I think I did another wedding out at the Four Seasons, and then someone was like, are you going to this Engage conference? And I was like, what? I heard about it. And I ended up calling and like getting in like with 2 weeks before it went.
Yeah, but explain that. This is another, like, don't let it just slip by what you actually had to do to make that happen.
No, I did. No, not that one. No, I just emailed them and called them, and they're like, yeah, hey, there's actually a spot open, so I ended up going.
That's right.
Yeah, and so then I went, and that was it's a big conference for like luxury event people, and that was incredible. That's where I was really like, there's a whole thing here. There's people that work in this high-end space, and I just kind of fell in love with it.
Right.
Like just incredible parties and the attention to detail and really kind and talented people. And then kept going to that. I think I'd actually emailed the founders of Engage like a year prior and was like, I'll film for you. Not knowing that there's like a list to get on.
Yeah.
And then we went the next one. So I went to that and that just kind of blew my mind. And I was like, I love this. Then I think I emailed them like 20 times.
Yeah.
Again, to say I'd like to film one of these events.
The founders of this conference.
Yeah. And whatever happened, I forget. And then like, I think it was like a month before.
What are these emails like?
I don't know. I don't think it is type. I honestly, I tried to just like I said, turn off my brain. I turn off what?
Yep. No, when you're
what am I writing?
Hitting up somebody for the 10th time, what is that email?
Hey, per my last email. No, I don't say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
Dude, depending on people, some of my emails are just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
That's it. I literally just forward for the 10th time, and all I say is, hey, what's up?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just keep asking. Like, hey, I'd really love to film, and just basically keep asking.
Yep.
So like a month before their conference in Italy, they said, hey, we'd love to have you come film. I was like,
was that
awesome.
the first time they wrote you back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, perfect. Great. Yep. How much do I get paid? And they're like, no. Okay, wait, maybe I shouldn't put that in. I don't know. But
yeah, no, but you didn't know. Like, you thought, I get paid.
I thought, like, dude, they were
in hindsight, you obviously now understand why they wouldn't pay you.
And they're like, who is this kid?
You've made
I think they're and they didn't know who I was, but I was like, I'm gonna do it, and flew you out, and we went and shot it, and that was a ton of work, but that kind of ended up. I'm trying to skim over it, but that really changed a lot. And I was starting to do bigger events throughout that, but we got to film that event, and this is for all like the top event professionals, or a lot of them.
Yep.
We filmed it, and we ended up doing a same day edit with 3 hours notice. Did the same day edit, showed it at the final gala, and got like a standing ovation.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That was pretty crazy.
It was crazy.
That was one of those, like, my whole life had led up to that moment. Yeah.
Dude, with like your whole story and everything, that was like a really insane moment then for you. Because you're literally
I remember
there
you were there and you were just like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, you allowed me to see that. You were just like, what is happening?
Dude, yeah, and all like the top wedding planners like coming up to you and being like, oh my gosh, like, I was just like watching all this happen. I was like, dude, I don't think you fully are comprehending the ramifications of what just happened here.
Yeah, it really did feel like my life had kind of like set up for that moment.
Right.
Kind of.
But also like for you, like your personality, like we were there as these little peasant workers, just running around this whole week, just killing ourselves, waking up before sunrise, shooting things,
really didn't sleep,
and then like
it was nuts.
Staying up
editing late,
super late to make edits that they could deliver, and then randomly being told, hey, if you want, you could make a video to play.
Or yeah, they said no, and then I like asked them one last time. I was like, do you guys want that video?
And then
they said, sure.
Yeah.
I said, okay, great. Yeah, I'll have it for you. Okay.
Dude, again, the asking. Like, imagine if you just didn't ask, because they had already told you no.
Yeah.
And that was literally the moment that changed everything. Because that's like when some of those big wedding planner people, right after the video played, to literally a standing ovation, which was weird because it wasn't like some kind of event where you would do that. Yeah. And then like numerous of the top wedding people came up to you and were like, looking forward to working with you. No one knew who you were. The whole week, nobody cared. In fact, some people said some funny things to you. Like, and it was like, that's because that's what you were. We were just nobodies. Yeah. Just doing a video, which typically is like a pretty low noticed thing at events like this. Like the person who's doing the floral or planning out the whole entire design of the thing, that person's like put up on a pedestal because it's really cool. Yeah. But essentially to have the video guy get the full stage and a standing ovation.
Also, that was so crazy because we finished it and then it was like, how are we going to get this on the screen? We're in Italy. No one speaks like fluent English. Yeah. And the contractor's doing all the tech. So like, let's say we finally got it down there and we got it to work. And then we went down and this is in the middle of the event. We're like, hey, it's done. They're like, perfect. I said, when is it going to play? And the guy's like, we don't know. It was not on the schedule. I was like, so I had to go up to the head designer of the whole event in the middle of this thing. I was like, hey, can we play this video sometime? He's like, sure, let's do it. Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
And he just like stopped everything and it's like, play it. it was so, I mean, there was so many things that could have. I
Yeah.
remember editing it and telling you there's a 10% chance this is even gonna make it on the thing because there's.
Oh,
It's
totally.
not the format's not going to work. I'm not going to edit it. It's not going to be able to
Yep.
export. It's not going to be able to be on the thumb drive. The thumb drive isn't, they don't have a thumb drive.
Right. There's so many
It's not even
variables.
going to. You tested it and the audio wasn't working, and they're like, "It'll work," and you're like, "I don't know if it'll work." And
Yeah.
so then we got down there, and he's like, "I don't know when it's supposed to play. It's not on our schedule." And there's so many reasons it shouldn't have worked. So that was a pretty incredible moment.
Yeah, that's definitely the
Big change.
And that's like everything. Like you just have to kind of send it, go
Yeah.
for it. And literally, like the biggest success that you do is just to continue to ask and ask and
Yeah,
ask.
because
and
I even
ask
think I
and
remember
ask.
there being like, "I made it. This is it. I made it."
Yeah.
And then it's like, nope. That just gave me another door opened.
Yeah.
To then keep asking and keep doing and having to prove myself more and more. And now that's 2 and a half, 2 years ago.
Yep.
And it's still
It's
that.
just recently started to actually pay off.
Yeah, that opened the door for planners to
For
kind
opportunities.
for the opportunities to then possibly get some events with some of the planners that I wanted to work with. Then at that point, it's like these are years out.
Yep.
Some of them that I met 2 years ago, I just finished their wedding like this summer.
Right.
Just did it because the events are so far.
Right.
So they're like, "Yeah, we'd love to have you on an event. Here, you want to do this one in 2020?"
Yeah.
Back in 2018.
Yeah.
Or it's not 2020, but 2019, back in the very beginning of 2018. I was, sure. So just now completing those. So it's been interesting looking back at it.
And entrepreneurship life has just been a breeze. Super easy,
Just
super
easy.
fun.
Just easy.
People say no, and you're like, how about yes?
I'm rich. Oh, I love it. Why isn't everyone an entrepreneur? No, yeah. It's very difficult. So
I mean, we don't have to go way in detail, but like, what are some, like, maybe for you personally, going into it, obviously kind of just blind, just going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in hindsight, what were some huge takeaways that you're like, man, I kind of wish I actually would have known, like, that things were going to take this long, which is funny to say it's going to take that long because it hasn't taken you that long. But,
Right.
you know, you didn't know. So now that it's happened, what are some takeaways from the last couple of years of jumping in full time, doing your own thing while your wife is at school full time?
Oh, man, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it seems obvious, but just like the work doesn't stop. It is really all on you, which I think, again, going back to Logos when I worked there, I had a really good job that set me up to possibly be an entrepreneur, which was as a producer. And I just got hounded and pounded that the buck stops at you. Like everything was my fault. If the video shoot didn't work, it was my fault. So I had I feel like I had a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Looking back now, being my own boss now, I'm like, boy, that was a breeze. That was awesome. I got paid every week, and
Right.
you know, it was so much fun. I went home in the evening at like 5. Yeah, I don't know, just that the realness of that it really is all on me,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no one. Like I have to make it work.
Right.
So that's hard. I think sometimes I struggle. Like if there's an out, I will take it. Like
Meaning
if there,
what?
like,
Maybe give me an example.
If
If there's an out on what? Like not
there's an
doing,
easy way out.
Yeah.
Like if it's
Not in a good way. Like this is not a
not a good thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's sometimes hard for me.
Because there's nobody
It
else.
has to be. It is me.
like
So
you're the one
yeah.
telling yourself that no, you need to do the harder thing here, and it's
Yeah.
like you're the only one there, so you're like, maybe
Yeah.
not.
yeah, it's pretty difficult sometimes. And so that's hard. I felt like, and this sounds dumb, but I feel like I knew everything, but not knew everything, but I knew that it was going to be difficult, but then just having to do it is the difficult part.
Right.
And then you're like, this really was difficult. This was terrible.
Right.
Also really fun. Also have a great business partner. I remember him telling me beforehand, he's like, you're going to have the lowest of lows and highest of highs. And I was like, sounds great.
Yeah.
And it has been.
Yeah.
It has been a roller coaster. I think it is a roller coaster every day. It's pretty tough. So wait, can I talk about the one thing I was going to talk about was the video stuff that I learned about
Like where?
the connecting with people. Okay. So the thing that I learned that really helped me with video, and then you can ask whatever you want or wrap this up. The thing that I learned a lot with video, and because I was talking about how I was mad that other people were getting jobs.
Yeah.
And I think this goes back to the artist thing, which is I think that. So like, I'm sure people look at my work and they're like, oh my God, he sucks. You could do so much better than him. I'm sure they could. They probably can. They can.
Cool. Yeah.
And then I look at people and I'm like, I can't believe how they got that job and like whatever. So it took me, to me, it feels like a while. I know it's not that long, but like a year of realizing that none of that stuff was about the work and that it was all about the relationships. And I had a really good friend who I work with a lot now. Is called Sam. His name's Sam. Sam Jacobsen. And he said this line that just totally changed my perspective on things. He's like, you have a lot of respect for the work that you do. Like, your work is objectively good. Like,
yes.
like it looks good.
Right.
Someone could look at it and say that's good work. Like, you do a good job, but you don't have any trust. And so to get jobs with people, you have to have both. And you have the one, but how do you get both? And I was like, oh my gosh, because I was so pissed that people weren't just calling me.
Right.
that is such a, and I know people like that now that are like, I'm just,
Yep.
someone's going to call me someday. Like, no, they're not.
Never.
They're not going to call you. There's no
Right.
reason. So I think switching my mindset on that and being like, it is not about my work. Objectively, kind of everyone is doing really good work.
Right.
So there has to be something
baseline.
else. Yeah. Baseline is that we're all great.
Right.
And so I was trying to figure out how do I build trust? And so I ended up offering to do a bunch of films
Yep.
to a bunch of planners and saying, I'd like to do these for free. I bought gifts, and there's a lot of other things that I would do is like, I'd watch podcasts with them and learn what they liked and then buy them this like a $300 gift that they specifically talked about and write a letter.
Right.
And
I
say,
think people miss things because you say them so fast. You would literally identify a person that you're like, I want to do work with this person.
Mm-hmm.
You would then spend time going on the internet, stalking this person. And then you'd
Researching.
find, they're on a podcast. So
Yeah.
you'd listen to like an hour plus of them just so in case they said one little thing about some kind of product or something that they like, then you would go and buy that, put it all together, bundle it, and give it to them as a gift.
give it to them as a gift. And then I'd write a card that said that, hey, like, I'd love to offer you one free film.
Yeah. So you're doing all of this work to tell somebody that
Do
you
free
want to
work.
do something for free for them.
Yes. And people might hate me for this. And I know there's creatives that are like, never do work for free.
Yeah, but
I totally think that you should.
Of course you should.
So then so I'd say, I want to do this one free video for you. And I'd list out the reasons why.
yes.
And I wouldn't say because my work's great. Because again, at this point, I was banking on that my thought
Work
was
would
right. That like the work, it doesn't
speak
matter about
for
the work.
itself. Yeah.
Or it doesn't even matter. They're not worried about that.
That's true.
I'd say, I want to do this one free video so that you can see that you can trust me. And I'd tell them why I'm doing this. I want you to trust me. I know you have a team that you've worked with that you trust. And I know this is a huge ask for me to come in and be a part of this event with you.
Yep.
To even let me do a free event is a huge, I could screw this up.
Yep.
But I want to do this one so you can see that you can work with me. I love working with other people. I love working with photographers, the catering staff, the people cleaning. If there's any way I can help out, I'm going to help out all those people. If I need to carry the photographer's gear, I'd love to do it. If you have an event in the next 2 years, so then also try not to seem needy, because I know people that are like, can I help do a video for you tomorrow?
Right.
And people are like,
Please.
whoa.
Please.
So being like, hey, if there's something in the next 1 to 2 years that you think might be a good fit for me, I'd love to do this one.
Yep.
And every single person took it.
And then you were like, oh crap.
Oh crap. Yeah. Did a lot of free work. But the nice part, I think I got paid for a lot of those actually.
Oh heck yeah.
With like
the
tips
return on investment on your time has been
Yeah.
now paying off.
Yeah. So it's been that's my
But
whole
that took a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a lot of
But that's kind of my opinion. So when people ask, I'm like, how did you do that? That's how I did that. And I tell everyone. I mean, you can have the secrets. I tell so many people that is how, because again, it is not about the work. And
That's
so
why
then
some
at that
people who
point-
don't even have great work are doing
Yeah.
stuff that you're not, even though you're better at the work.
And so then I'm not mad at when I see this work from other people.
Totally.
I'm like, well, they're good friends with the person.
They've built trust.
Yeah.
Literally, the only things you have to do is listen. So like how you would go and research and find information pre even meeting this person is literally you just listening.
Yeah.
You're just being observant of a human being so that then you can engage into a relationship and then spend time with them. If you literally just listen and spend time with people, that's building trust.
Yeah. And then just doing that over and over. And like stupid things like answering emails.
Oh, yeah.
And doing what you say, like the stuff that makes you successful at least for me, on the luxury side of events, is the exact same thing that anyone. It's just like doing what you say you're gonna do.
Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna be there at 5. We'll be there at 5.
Dude, all other humans make it really easy. Because everybody else is doing such a crappy job.
It's
that it's like if you're just a decent person that no, the people who are doing good at it are succeeding.
Yeah.
Because that's literally all you have to do. You just have to be a decent human and just do the regular.
And I'd say generally
things.
it's like I'm pretty normal. I'm not trying to like hit on anyone. I'm not trying to like.
That's what I mean. Just be a normal person.
I'm not trying to like flirt with all the bridesmaids, or I'm here to like shoot the event.
Right.
I think I do good work. I try to do high quality stuff. I'm on time. I do what I say I'm going to do. I deliver what I said. If you sign the contract for, I try to do it in a timely manner.
Yep.
I'm kind. I'm nice.
Exactly. It's crazy that
I don't know.
is what puts you above lots of people. It's crazy. Yeah. It's kind of great. But yeah, it's so true. You don't have to be that great in terms of the technical actually doing it.
What are you saying, Josh?
Because you do great work.
But
the thing is, what you said earlier, it's like everyone's doing great work.
Yeah, there's like so many good people.
There's so many people that are so good at it. But what so many people are missing is that it all boils down to relationship, which you fully understand. And actually, it's kind of interesting. Your whole life has been leading.
And I
to
love
this.
that. I love so then I actually just love doing it regardless. It's not like a job. It's not like, I have to go network. Right. And I even hate calling it networking because it's just like I'm good to go hang out with my friends.
Yep.
Because I like people.
Exactly.
And then all that, and I like business, and I like doing both of it, and I like filming.
Yep.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's like
get to go to Maui and go shoot and do a good job and like grab dinner with people, and I don't know. I love it. And there's people like, and how the world connects, and there's so many different people that know this and that, and like I love I'll introduce you to this person, and I love meeting people, and the world just got really small really quick, and I don't know.
Yeah. What places have you been in the last year or two? Obviously, you don't have to list all of them, but
Lebanon, Greece, Italy, Canada. Lots of LA, lots of New York, lots of. I've been to Cleveland a lot. Where else?
Hometown, Cleveland.
There's been more places.
There's definitely been more places.
Montenegro. We're going to London in a couple, like next month, to shoot at the Kensington Palace, and
pumped.
Hopefully, knock on wood, Malaysia, Thailand in the next couple months. Yeah.
Pre the last couple years, how many countries had you been to?
Like 2?
Yeah.
I mean, I got to travel a little bit, yeah.
But not like a ton.
No, but this travel is different. It's a little weird because you don't get to enjoy it, but.
Right, you're working the whole time.
Yeah, which I've had to come to terms with. I've used to feel super guilty every time that I'd travel.
Right. Yeah, that's a weird thing when you start getting
guilty.
Like when it's work and you like getting it's work and people don't understand. Like when I travel places, they're just like, oh man, that's so, and it's like
you don't stay for a week. I'm like, I wouldn't make any money if I stayed in the resorts for a week.
You're like, not it stay extra. Like I get paid by the day and. Like when I was a camera operator, it's like, no, I'm not. No, this isn't like enabling. Like, no, we're working like 12 plus hour days.
That's what I don't think people realize either. Is they're like, "Duh, man, you get blah."
Yeah,
and it's like, well, like you went to that thing we worked at. I think we slept like 3 hours every night.
Yeah,
that's what it really does. And it's like your time, you're doing crazy flights, and then.
And you're not like showing up 3 days ahead of time so you can adjust. You're like showing up the day before or
and you're
the day of.
My time zone just flipped on its head. Yep. But you have to work like 16 hours today.
Yeah.
And then get up the next morning, work another for the after party.
Right.
And then you're okay, got to go home to the next, know. But it's pretty cool to see fun spots.
It's cool. I like it.
I'm not complaining. But it's just no one wants to hear that.
No, it's just I mean, people who don't do it don't get it. And I totally get that they don't get it.
I don't think traveling's fun ever, regardless of where you're going.
Right.
So while sitting on a tiny little airplane is never fun for me.
No. I made the horrible
like that
decision to fly all the way to Iraq in middle seats. That was a really bad idea. Don't do that.
Sucks.
It's not worth it. Always
I puked
upgrade.
for 10 hours. Sorry.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's
on the way home from
where was that?
Lebanon.
Like far away. Oh, yeah. So
I was just like, this is about to suck.
That's like my worst fear. I can't believe
bad.
it happened to you. I'm know.
I'm huge. Kneeling in the tiny little bathroom and everyone's sleeping.
Are you like loud?
Yeah.
I'm like, people think I'm dying.
Yeah. I was trying to hold on for like 5 hours on the flight of just like, if I go back there and puke, I'm going to like sound like I'm dying.
Yeah.
Just like,
yeah, that's me, dude. Oh gosh.
And I was
It'd
just,
be so bad.
I
don't know what I'd
huge
do.
dude on like in squished, and then you have to kneel down.
Yeah.
Oh, and so then I could wait. Can I say everywhere? I couldn't even? Yeah, that, and I also couldn't puke because it was so small. So by the time I had to,
because you were like
so bent over that I'd try to puke and it'd be like, and my stomach couldn't even like,
That's like literally, I don't know of many things that'd be worse than that kind of sick.
That was
on an airplane.
So bad.
That is a very long flight.
10 hours.
Yeah, that's just the worst. We're going to move things along. Storybox Cinema, which is your wedding video production company, which again, yeah, we're just not telling people any details, just kind of going everywhere. It's great. Let's try to kind of start wrapping things up, even though honestly, there's still a couple major things. So let's just touch base on, no big deal. You decide to open a wedding venue in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, that's really normal.
Yep. Video to real estate.
Of course. Easy.
No, I don't know.
No problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to just touch on it, but yeah. Open an event venue.
Yep. Called the Madison.
Yep.
The best venue in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, it is.
By far.
Yeah, I would say so.
Nothing even competes.
Nothing. There's an end of it. No. Yeah. Yep. It's a big warehouse. We took it, bought it, renovated it.
Same business partner with Storybox.
Yep.
Is in with the Madison.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
How's that?
It's good. It's tough.
Harder than Storybox.
Yeah.
The hardest thing you've ever done.
They're all pretty difficult, but yeah, I mean that's I'd really
the
jumped
most
in the deep
responsibility you've ever had is
jumped in the deep end with that one. So,
and probably the most learning. It's so different from everything you've ever done.
Yeah, there's just a lot more to manage and a lot more on the line.
Right.
Hopefully a lot more to win too and gain. But
exactly.
Yeah, it's been a lot of learning so far. So.
Is that all we're going to talk about on that?
I don't know. Gosh, I got tired.
My chair is so loud.
I got tired.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I mean, what do people want to know about Chris? What are you doing on your phone?
I'm running a business. Sorry. What do people want to know?
Yeah, now I'm all of a sudden like blanking because we talk so much. I'm like, everybody already knows. Nobody knows anything.
I don't know.
Big deal. You finally got your liquor license.
Yeah, it's been,
and that's kind of a game changer.
Yeah, it's been like almost maybe a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
Everything that's happened has been like a year and a half, 2 years.
Right.
Now it's been like 3 years since I started doing video in Cleveland. But yep, ended up opening.
Yeah, in the middle. Sorry, let's back up. In the middle of like basically when you started pursuing, I'm gonna get into the high-end luxury wedding video business. So you are offering all these people free work. That's when you start a wedding venue, which is a heavy cash.
Why not?
Investment.
It is. Yeah, I probably would
Which
have
is
not
probably
done all that
awesome
at the same time. But
timing, right?
Yeah.
Highly recommended to most people.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. No, yeah, that's pretty difficult. But it's going good now. So.
Like, it's going awesome. This last week,
it's
been
been
a
great.
Killer week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of cool events this past year. We've had the Cleveland Flea and like the Cleveland Clinic has been there.
Yep.
Cleveland Cleveland Cavaliers and anything Cleveland
Chris
has been
can't
there.
speak anymore. It's been too long.
So we've had a lot of really fun events. We've had the not.com come out.
Yep.
So
That's
take
awesome.
that.
It does.
Someone. I don't know.
Take that. This is great. You'll just lose your filter the longer we go. Should we just keep going for another hour?
No, it is kind of like comes around. It's like, oh, that's fun. And now I know all those people at the Knot, and now we got to host them for a big industry event at that is crazy, actually.
That is crazy.
At my venue. And
yeah. What a full circle there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, huh?
Begging to go to one of the things to hosting it at your own venue.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And what are some future ideas with that? Because actually, as different as they are,
they are similar.
Huge benefits to having a wedding high-end luxury video business that could potentially turn into more things in the future, right?
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
Like Storybox.
Yeah, what about it?
Like it could be more than just videos, right? Someday, 10, 20 years from
What do you
now.
mean? What do you mean?
Like you could be doing a lot of things in that industry, not just making a video.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. And I really enjoy celebrating. I enjoy weddings. I think they're really fun. They're pretty special events for people.
Right.
And for the same reason that I love videoing weddings, which is like to see the celebration and to show it back to them afterwards, because a lot of times you're not kind of remembering what has happened because it's so crazy. And so getting to show the best parts of the event and like what really happened, and my job, I always say, is to be a mirror and kind of reflect back what happened.
Right.
So that's kind of my little pitch. But I do consider myself to be a mirror. Like my job is to showcase what happened in the best possible.
Back to that photojournalism.
Yeah. That's what I think. So, and I love that. I love the parties and the dancing and all that stuff. So, in the same reason, I really enjoy the venue, because selfishly, I get to be a part of all these cool celebrations.
Right.
Even if I'm gone traveling, I watch on the cameras and people are having a great time and dancing and putting on these big events that are usually pretty important events and special to them and their families. And
right.
I love that.
Yeah.
So
like the core value of what you do kind of transcends into all of that world. And now you get to do it in different capacities.
Yeah, I really enjoy celebration. I love hosting.
There it is, yeah.
Like I personally would love having people over to my house and hosting them. So yeah, there's some like a moment that I've had that that I think I'm trying to search for a lot is like a moment with a lot of friends having wine and drinks, and like someone opens another bottle of wine and no one wants to leave, and people have kind of forgotten about time and they're not interested in leaving, and like everyone's laughing and having a good time. Like that is, I love that. And so I'm trying to, I think, replicate that in a lot of ways.
Right.
And I love having those things at the Madison. So even if I'm not there, I get to be a part of those. I just really like celebration. I think it's so much fun. It's those moments when people aren't worrying about things and kind of all the issues and having a blast with their friends. And I think those are pretty special times.
And they're like memorable things.
Yeah.
This is an actual moment that was so important that they're going to spend a lot of money and a lot of resources and everything to remember. That's the whole point of why someone's going to rent out your venue, is because this is such an important thing. Or the whole point
that they're having me film.
Or that.
So
to be able to
I really love
such an
celebrations.
Moment.
I think they're pretty special. So to be a part of those, I want to be a part of it in kind of hopefully more ways.
Yeah.
Right now this is pretty good. Right.
Yeah, for now.
So
just getting some important business calls there.
No. Yes.
Yeah, dude, I mean, I think that totally makes sense. And dude, how interesting too, to like look back on your whole life with school and everything. And now like you own the venue, so you get to be the life of the party, but you're also like more grown up and more self-aware of things. And so you're seeing this new place where it's like, instead of like, you're finding so much fulfillment and joy in hosting, which is probably a healthier way of expressing wanting
like
attention.
Being the center of attention.
Of course. But how cool to have found a way and an outlet to be a part of large gatherings and huge things where there is somebody who's the star of it.
Right.
And you don't have to be that. And that you're actually finding so much fulfillment in like giving that person that experience to be able to remember it. Because that's something that's probably
it is interesting that I
you.
enjoy hosting from someone who likes to be the center of attention. I really enjoy it. Like if people could forget and just have a good time.
Right.
Oh, I love that. That is so much like,
yeah.
I almost I think there's something spiritual about it. I don't really know what it is, but I think.
Like, what do you mean?
I don't know, but that moment when you're surrounded with friends and hanging out and drinking, so you don't have to be drinking, but you can be.
Yeah.
But just, there's like a moment where, like, to me, it's very euphoric, and it's.
Right.
It's mostly surrounded about like good people, conversation, you're laughing, and like no one wants to leave. That, I don't know, I don't really know what it means, but I feel like it's super special.
It's like super connecting for humans to do stuff like that. I think that's why any religious groups and things, they gather in groups. And the most, at least for me, maybe I'm speaking for myself.
I'm starting a cult.
But yeah, you are. No, but like the most enjoyable part is like when there's music, that part. And that's the most dancing. Like connecting part
Yeah.
And it's interesting because humans have just done, like, music has been something that humans have done, like, for so long. Music and stories, like, when those are brought together in a gathering place with a group of humans, I think it does do something.
It does something, man.
Changes you.
Changes you.
And you start doing crazy things.
Yeah, so I love those. I love being a part of it in any way. Not in any way. I don't want to get into catering, so.
No catering.
No.
Chris, no catering.
No, I'm not going to cater.
Perfect.
But I do like filming them and hosting them.
Okay. We're going to try to wrap this up. Chris
Yeah.
is going downhill.
I'm tired.
Yeah, you're like visually just like energy is like at 50% now. And it's probably going to go to 20 in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I just
now that
start
you're-
answering. Yep.
Yeah, now that you're feeling this horrible, I do want to try to get a little bit deeper. Like, what are
right
some...
now.
Yeah, I know. This either will be really good or just really bad. Like, what are some major things that you've experienced growth in your life? Like some real stuff. Not just passively.
I probably told you, so you probably know.
Yeah.
What do you wanted me to say?
I don't know. I know too much. Okay. I do want to get one little bit deeper, like actual real meat and potatoes here. So kind of like what you had already mentioned, like how Dan, when you just were starting, your business partner's like, yo, you're going to experience like the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And I'd say like probably had experienced some of your lowest of lows over the last couple of years. I mean, okay,
there's no more.
You probably have more in the future, but up until this point of your life, this has been something that has challenged you the most.
Yeah, it's been pretty difficult.
See, this is what you're like skimming over it. Like, yeah, it's pretty difficult.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you want
Here's
me to
like
say.
what people who don't go so full throttle into everything, like they don't even know what that means. Like, you didn't know what that meant until now that you did it. Dan knew because he's been in other businesses.
Yeah.
He's done things like this, so he understands. That's why he told you. And now you're like, I see what he meant.
So have I grown in that?
Yeah, like what are some... Yeah, of
Hopefully
course.
my wallet. I don't know.
Ultimately, yes. More personally, more as a human, like what has... Like, you've learned so much. Okay.
Well, I think it's going back to that point that it is I have to... It's me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's been a lot of times of questioning this summer that am I even capable of doing any of this stuff? Like, am I even really able to do this? I don't know.
Which flips from like, you're the best, I'm freaking slaying and killing and no one can touch me, to then 3 weeks later, it's like, I might actually
go to business
literally not be the right person for this. And I might actually be incapable of
I had a lot of
achieving
those.
any of these things.
Yeah, I felt like this summer was a lot of wrapping my head fully around what I was doing. But every day is learning.
Of course.
So I even have a difficult time saying this is how I've grown, because then that's saying that now I know this. And I just, like, I think you always say the more I get older and the more I experience, the more I realize I don't know anything. So it just is like a larger, maybe I grew in this area, but also there's so much, I'm just like, oh my gosh. I think it's a lot of learning about that I don't know a lot. Obviously, I know there's never a time that I thought I knew a lot about owning a venue. I do think I know a decent amount about filming. Yeah. But just part of it's my strength is I think I can go into a situation and I'm pretty cool with knowing that I'm not the best. Yeah. Or that I don't know anything, and I'm willing to ask questions and just ask stupid questions. I'll be the stupidest person in the room every time. Right.
Your ignorance you actually lean into on a good way because you're intuitive.
Sure.
So somewhere in you, you're confident in knowing, like, I'm going to be able to figure this out. Like, I can understand, but the ignorance, like, you just literally don't know, which is kind of, I would say in your case, for a lot of people, not so much, but in your case, it comes with, like, humility too. So you, like, go into it with, like, you jump in the deep end. I guess that's what it is. And then you figure out how to swim.
Yeah, and I've kind of always done that. I remember when I first got my 5D.
Yeah.
I got a 5D Mark II in college, and all the kids on my floor were photographers, and I didn't no idea how to shoot. Yeah. But I wanted to shoot, so I bought the best. Yeah. And they're like, you idiot. You don't even know. But then I figure it out and then
Yep.
take it and, whatever. But that's always kind of been the situation.
Right.
So I don't know. I think learning a lot about that. Whoa, tired.
Chris is going to just pass out. That's the goal now.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I feel like I'm
Go
not
for
giving
it.
a good answer.
That's great. I think that makes sense. I mean,
I also have a difficult time saying that I've had a harder time than anyone else. It's just like,
No.
I think the more I've done stuff, the more I'm like, everyone has really hard stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
I'm
that's
not a
something
parent.
you're learning.
Like, people have kids. You have
Yeah.
kids.
Right.
That's nuts to me.
Yeah.
I think I'm tired, and then there, or I have it difficult, and you like other people are supporting their families or like children.
Yeah.
I've been learning how to have a healthy relationship, and be a business owner. It's like pretty difficult because I'm pretty obsessive. So
Right.
I want to give everything to my business, and that's not good.
Right.
All the
For
time.
your marriage.
For your marriage,
Right.
For my marriage. So trying to figure that balance out. I don't know. Being an entrepreneur and being married, or I think being an entrepreneur is pretty difficult. I have a difficult time saying that it's harder than anything else, but it's hard for me a lot.
Right.
Other people have hard situations too. So,
Yeah.
it's kind of like when you're in like elementary and you get homework and it's super difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
And then in high school it's difficult, and it's just always difficult. Like
Right.
everyone has hard stuff going on. So I really don't think that mine is any more difficult than anyone else's, but it's given me a lot more compassion for people, and
Right.
yeah, like everyone's going through stuff. So whether it's on purpose or like I kind of chose to do this, I chose
Yeah.
this lifestyle, which I really enjoy. So I don't feel like I ever can really complain about it or the hard stuff, because there's also like amazing.
Of course.
Like I get to travel all over the world and meet with talented people and really cool clients and get to tell their stories and work with incredibly talented photographers and designers and like meeting, just it's like really cool. So,
Yeah.
But there's hard stuff about it. So I don't know. I feel like I've learned a lot about that, and yeah, it's a weird combo of getting to like work with incredible people and these huge events, and then being like, I don't know anything, and the roller coaster that is that.
It's good stuff. Man,
Mark,
know.
anything?
that's what we got. Yeah, Mark, what do you want to know about Chris? You don't know Chris.
Now he does.
Yeah, no, I do. I just heard everything.
He knows everything now. So we did great.
Is there something that I'm missing that you want me to say? That one time that you pooped your pants.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I will say that I've learned how to listen a lot more, and I do like being the center of attention. I love all that stuff, but also I think a lot of the success for me, maybe by accident, being shutting up and listening to people, but then it's proven to be really helpful. It's like listening. I'm like,
Dude, that's it. That is I think that's the thing I say almost every podcast that I've had is, and I think it's a reoccurring thing that I'm really starting to learn as well, is I think the most important thing that humans can do is just listen. Honestly, that's why I'm doing this podcast, so I can just kind of listen to somebody and record it so that other people could just listen to it.
it's not like I had the hardest time talking about myself, but I do like typically. I do like talk. Well, of course, I love hearing my own voice, but I do try to listen a lot. So it's difficult for me to say that, well, this is the way that I did it. I even hate talking about why, like that my way's right.
Right.
Because I just feel like my success is all to other people because I just kind of try to be quiet and listen.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, that's a really good idea. So I don't feel like any of the ideas are mine or any of the ideas are,
right.
I know they're not mine, but just there's a lot of smart people in the world, and if you can just kind of be quiet and listen, a lot of people are willing to help, and so that's always been helpful for me, and especially this summer. And
yeah, dude.
Don't be a jerk.
Yep. Be a good person and listen. That's kind of it. That's funny how that kind of wrapped in. I mean, we could end on that. That's literally like I'm starting to get to the point that that's the thesis in my life is listen. That's it. Like just seriously, don't be a jerk and just listen more. Because if you do, everything that you just said will start happening. Because if you don't listen, and I'm not saying just like literally just sitting there and zoning out and listening to someone, but like actively trying to learn something by listening to somebody's story and going at it with the desire to have empathy. Because like in business, if you're trying to land a job or something with somebody, you're not going to get very far if you don't understand their needs meaning you actually like you need the empathy part, like, and the only way to know what somebody's real needs are is by spending time with them and listening to them. And it's like, but that's with all things then. Like, you want to have a better relationship with anybody, spend time with them and listen to them. And then
and
with that
them.
information, if you really want to get close with someone,
I take that back. Whoa.
Whoa. Sweet. I think we should wrap this up.
Okay.
Unless we just want to ramble about random stuff.
No, that's okay.
Are you sure?
Mark looks tired.
Yeah, Mark always.
Mark, you tired a lot?
No, Mark's not
I
tired.
don't know if Mark likes it when I bring him into this.
He loves it. He loves it. I like that. Your face is never in the podcast. Just go to the Guatemala series on the YouTube channel. Mark is Mark. The Mark in those. That's Mark. I really feel like there's more things we should talk about, but
season 2.
that's it. That's all we're going to do, I guess.
Right. Go.
Well, that's
Is
it,
it still
folks. We're still going.
Oh.
Chris is going to take a nap. We're wrapping things up. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully there was some good stuff in there. I mean, your story is great. It really, okay, here are my like wrap up thoughts. Like, in reality, if you really look through your whole life and all the things that happened, it actually like really does make sense. All the things that you're doing, like the venue and the luxury high-end weddings and travel, like all those things like actually really tie in and make sense with who you are. And it's cool to see, like, through all the things you did, even the cool entrepreneurial tendencies that you had as a kid, like how that was happening, but you were also just really engaged and like wanted the attention and did things like magic and blah, blah, blah. And like the wedding videos that you play, they wow people. And it's like, you get that satisfaction from that, but you're actually serving people now instead of just like taking all the attention and all that. So it's like this progression of just like becoming a much better version of yourself. And you're still like freaking young. That's what's crazy too. Like, you just are starting. So like where you're going to end up is exciting.
Wow.
Bam. That's it. Should we just end it there?
End it.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Remember to, those things like subscribe, comment, share. Mark, is that what I should be saying? As if Mark cares either. None of us care. Oh, he's shaking his head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Bye. Peace.